Okay, Let's Paint TV in the house. Rise and shine. Shine. Shine on. Shine on. Shine on. Shine on. Shine. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shine on. Shine on. Okay. Thanks again for being here. Let's Paint TV in the house. Again, going here. Jeez. Oh my goodness. Goodness. How's the weather? Looks like a nice day today. A little foggy, which is nice. But I just saw the sun break out. And so not much in the fog. That will burn off. I guess it's burning off now. But it's nice when the fog gets in this far inland. But thanks for asking. Another day. Another day. False promises. False accusations. Falsities. Fault lines, false figures, false French fries, false French fries. How's that? False teeth. False tits. False dick. False penis. False truths. That's kind of strange. Truth, false truth. Truth, false truth. False appendages, false trees, false people, false messiahs. How about that one? False dentures. Nah. False flags. False. Well, we just keep thinking about it. False whatever. False whatever. False. False realities. False futures. False futures. False past. False documents. False papers. False. Well, yeah, maybe we just move on. But we did go a little far with that. That's kind of exciting, I guess. Speaking of going far, we're going a little further with this painting. I went a little further with the painting that you see behind me. And it's kind of in a wonky state of mind. And so I may want to mess with it on the show. That's what I might be doing, which is pretty exciting, isn't it? Very, very exciting. Okay, so let's see if I can do that over. If I could just stop fiddling around, maybe I could get something done here. I guess we could set up the phone number here. I need to fix that. Let me just fix that. Get the title working again. Okay, that will be good. Let's do this. There you go. You just call that number. We'll take your calls. 818-528-4516. Maybe it should be a little lower. It's a little too high, isn't it? All right, let's put it on the next level. There you go. Oh, I gotta just put it down there. Okay. Okay. That might be better. Huh. Well, isn't that strange? Let's see here. Why does that stop working on us? There you go. Okay. Now you can call us 818-528. Okay, there, everyone there? Okay, fantastic. So, back to our exciting show today. High energy. Bring some high energy. Bring the high energy, will you? All right. Okay, all right. Just an update of sorts. I'm gonna get back to being in outer space probably in the next couple of days. I just kind of got tired of being in space, so I took a break. But I'm gonna get back into it because we'll be fulfilling your request. There's a lot of paintings to be made in the fulfillment category. Also, I got to make some t-shirts and stuff like that. So boom. Do. So we'll get on with that. We'll be back in space here in the near future. I posted a link to a video on Twitter and Facebook of a fascinating hour and a half long video of outer space, the galaxy. It's the journey into the edge of the universe. I think that's the title. And it was on National Geographic. I was taking a nap and I kind of woke up to that. And fascinating. It came out in 2008. And anyway, the link is there. It's really beautiful because it's animated, and it's from the viewpoint of one camera going through the whole galaxy, or universe, or whatever. If that's the same, I think they're different. Okay. Anyway, you could check that. Anyway, it came out in 2008, so maybe you guys saw that. I did not see it because I'm sometimes late to the party. All right, Taylor, I want to buy some oil paints. I know what size I should get. Oh gosh, Taylor. Well, I mean that's a tough question. I don't know where you're going to get your paints. For one, you're kind of better off. You get your best deals online, from what I can tell. Rarely are you going to get any kind of deal by going to the local art store. Sadly, that's the truth. And but you want to know what size? A good size to get, Taylor, is this size. I don't know if you can see the camera. Do we have the camera working here today? Who's our cameraman today? It's the 150 milliliter, I believe, Is that what it's called? Or 5.67 ounces. But it's a good size. It's a good size tube, as you can see. This has already been attacked. Here, this one's cleaner. Get this size. And I recommend Utrecht. That's a good quality professional paint, Utrecht. A lot of professional artists use it, along with just regular Joes. Pretty out of Brooklyn. They're made out of Brooklyn, right? Straight out of Brooklyn. This paint, Utrecht. They sell it through Blick. You can go to Blick, Dick Blick, and you can get the paint that way. I recommend it going that route. They have free shipping if you spend $100, which you're bound to spend $100 in paint anyway. Once you get a blue, a red, a yellow, a white, etc., and maybe you need to get some. I always recommend the Gamsol paint thinner, odorless paint thinner. And you know, before you know it, you spend $100. They ship it to you. It takes about a week, so it's not like right away. But I would recommend doing that. Yeah, so 150 milliliter. I think it's a milliliter. What's wrong with that shot? That shot's all screwed up. Yeah, a 37 ounce or whatever it is, 37 milliliters are too small. No. It's a waste. They're too expensive for that size. You get ripped off. Well, you can get them for about the 150 milliliters. I think you can get a Series 1, and that's, a lot of them are Series 1. As long as you stay in the Series 1 department, they're about 20, maybe 25 bucks as long as they're on sale. Make sure you get them on sale. A lot of times they're not, and then you end up paying $40 or something. So you should be able to get it for like 25 bucks. Like I said, so before you know it, you're spending 100 bucks. Oh, Pablo uses Utrecht too. It's like I said, it's the best quality paint for your money. At least that's how I feel about it. I also end up buying a lot of paint from this other company called Artist Oils from Triangle Coatings. They're also they tend to be a tad bit cheaper than the Utrecht and the same quality, I'd say, for the most part. All right, those are great questions, I believe, in Crystal Light. All right, so there's always something going down. I feel like I'm getting some sort of cold or something. All right, so fantastic. Got some good questions here, taking your calls. And we will, I guess, move on. Move on to the painting department. I've kind of been using the photo of the painting. I had the photo of the painting here, right here. It was kind of nice. It helped a lot. But now I'm at a point with the painting where I've kind of put all the elements down, and structurally it looks relatively okay. So I'm at a point where I don't even want to look at the drawing or the photo anymore, which may not be the best idea. Oh, thanks, Pablo. I'm not convinced it's there quite yet. I still have issues with working landscape inside the studio. I feel like I've never really succeeded, but I feel like I'm onto something in terms of using using my. I've had a little better luck of late, and I think it's because I'm able to possibly be more freer and just a little more freer about it, the process, and as such, maybe it conveys, it works out better that way. Or there's parts I don't like, obviously, and so I'm gonna mess with them. But it's got I think it has a good structure. I mean, structurally, it looks good, I think, but it might need some fiddling, which it does. It needs some help. I think, maybe not. It's one of those things. But I feel a lot better, as I said 1,000 times. I do feel better about the fact that I didn't use a photograph as my reference. But there's plenty of mistakes here, which, again, I'm not going to have those resolved, all of them. But I want to address some of them. Yeah, I like Diebenkorn's work. It's a little I think I like the earlier work, or I identify with the earlier work from the Bay Area abstract, figurative, whatever time. I identify more with that than its more harder edge stuff that I think he did later on, possibly. I'm no expert, but I just sort of, I've seen like drawings he did of models, and they're just like, to me, not what and there's a lot of to do about that, or a lot of, oh my God, master drawer, master artist. But to me, that's not the interesting paintings that I liked about his were the more exploratory, messy stuff, which I guess maybe that's what I like to do. But all right. Anyway, I'm kind of avoiding doing anything, frankly, but we'll eventually get to painting, I suppose. So yeah, hopefully we'll kind of, well, if I get going on here, maybe I don't know, something weird about looking at a painting and not actually working on it. It's not weird, but there's something pleasurable about the, yes, no, yes, no. Should I fix that part, or should I let it be? It's kind of a strange scenario. All right, so fantastic. All right. Well, anyway, so let's see if I can figure this out. or see if I can make a move or two. Oh, we just stare at it. After all, that's what a painting's about. Is it can be about just looking at it for a while. I always never feel terribly comfortable at a museum and I'm staring at paintings too long. I don't devote. I've never been able to spend any time in that direction. Yeah, museums are weird. I can't deny that there are some great paintings and art stuff going on at museums. I mean, it's not like it's crappy stuff and it's not worth looking at, but I always feel awkward in them. I don't, the, I guess I don't, I think I'd much rather be hanging out at the artist's studio and seeing seeing artwork in a more relaxed spot. It just the though well, it's no big deal. But anyway, it's well, don't get see Taylor, don't get cadmium red medium. Don't get it. Get naphthiol or whatever. Naphthiol red. I can't say it. Naphthiol red. It's only about maybe $30. And get it. Get some sales. Make sure it's on sale. Yeah, I would just avoid cadmium. There's no point getting cadmium, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I've gotten it. I used it. I like using it. I gotta say, it pops much better than the other yellows you could ever get or the other reds you could get. But it's usually way more expensive, and you can kind of get by with the other, with these other sort of newer variations of the color. You don't have to. Yeah, forget about cobalt. Don't even bother with that. You don't need cobalt. That's the one color you do not ever need. I can see why people are married and connected to having the need to buy the cadmium yellow and the cadmium red. I get it. I've done that. But I do not understand how anyone would ever buy a cobalt, because that's already, the cobalt is even way more expensive than the cadmiums, for one. And you don't really, unless you're just some sort of blue freak, like blue is your color, and you're just doing all these wonderful things with blue, the color blue, and purples. then maybe you get some cobalt, but you can get a lot of stuff done with a Persian blue, with a phthalo blue, and ultramarine blue. Any of those three, cerulean blue. Though I'm not. I like the phthalo blue. I'm kind of happy with just using a phthalo blue and an ultramarine blue. But I'm kind of practical in that sense, a little bit. You like the greenish hue of the cerulean. Well, have you ever tried phthalo blue? Because the phthalo blue has quite a greenish hue-ish to it, the cerulean. I don't know if it has a green, but it's got that kind of aqua feel to it. Yeah, naphthenol red light. Get naphthenol red light. How much is it? It should be about, I'm guessing it's probably only $30, but maybe it's $35, but still, it should be about 30, I'm guessing, but maybe it's 35. All right. Fantastic. And particularly if you're starting out, you're starting out, right? Now, just because you're starting out doesn't mean you want to just buy student grade paint. I'm kind of soured on student grade paint. I just don't. I just think people who are starting out with that could get disappointed in it because of the fact that the student grade paint sucks. And so if you're going to work with something that sucks so much, it might throw you off and you might not want to ever do anything ever again. Okay, you're using a list from a book. Fantastic. However, you don't need to get all those colors. What are they telling you to get? Okay, you're using a list from some book. All right, well, you don't need to follow what anyone says for one, but let's just see what they say, what they're telling you. Titanium white, good. Cadmium yellow light, fine. Cadmium yellow medium, fine. I would get cadmium red light, frankly, personally. Alizarin crimson is good. Is great. Ultramarine blue is great. I always get that. The phthalo blue and burnt umber. See, here's what I would do. All those colors are fine, but the burnt umber, I wouldn't get the burnt umber. I would get yellow ochre. I find that to be much more. I stay away from any. I tend to stay away from any of the browns, burnt umber, raw umber. Those are just. That's like It's like working with mud. And generally speaking, when you're doing a painting, you're trying to avoid making a painting that is muddy. And so if you're gonna put down mud as your paint, then you're right away going to get a muddy painting. So I don't see the point of browns, of using browns in your painting. I just don't see it. But that's my simpleton approach. But I do use the yellow ochre, which is like a brown too. It's a baby poo brown. It's a. So, but I use that, and then phthalo blue. I would say, I would almost, at least if I were to buy paint, I would just buy maybe a small tube of phthalo blue because I don't use that much of it. because every once in a while you need that little phthalo blue, because maybe you see it in the landscape or whatever you're trying to paint. But if you're not seeing phthalo blue in your what you're trying to paint or what you want to paint, then there's no point using it, as far as I'm concerned. But every once in a while, it's good to have it. I have a tube of phthalo blue, but I really don't use it that much. Like on this painting, I did pull a little bit out, but I don't think I ever really ended up, it doesn't have, oh, I put it up in the sky. I put it in the sky, that's right. What am I talking about? Yeah, it's in the sky. All right, I'm going to use the bathroom. I'm kind of holding off on doing any painting, but I know I'm going to have to get going here. I'm kind of letting the painting talk to me. All right, let me go use the bathroom. Maybe get some water. Okay. Ah. All right, let's I got feel a sore throat. I got a sore throat coming on, and then I'm going to go to the dentist today, so it's really going to be fucked. Yeah, see, Dick Blick's always got sales. They always have sales. And if you use that little coupon code, CDDX or whatever, you get 20% off. But see, that rarely ever works, except for in terms of the free shipping. But usually, they always have everything you end up buying is somewhat on sale. So those. But anyway, you can't go wrong with that paint that I told you, the Utrecht paint. It's your best bet, and it's convenient. They ship it to you real fast. The other place that I order stuff from, they are a small operation, and I ordered some phthalo green, that is, and it never showed up. Oh, you know what? Here, this is an interesting thing. So they said on your list, you said titanium white, cadmium yellow, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, burnt umber. See, now what I have is, I don't have the burnt umber, but I have a phthalo green, and a yellow ochre. But you know, this person is able to get it all done with one less color in a sense. So with the burnt umber, you're going to make a black ultimately with the ultramarine blue, I think. So that will do it for you. I don't know how you get a green though. Where do you get your greens? Which is probably just as well to make your own greens, because greens are a kind of a dangerous color. I've discovered. You really want to keep an eye on that. The greens. I read a book once, and I thought it had some truth to it, but I never took advantage of the thought. But he recommended that you, every once in a while, get try using a different green. Don't become like addicted to using the same green all the time. Thought that was an interesting point. I don't know to what extent you do with that, but I thought it was an interesting point. I should put some gloves on, but my gloves are all, I need to throw my gloves away and get new gloves because these gloves all suck. So probably I'll just not use any gloves. All right. Well, let's do a little painting here, guys. How about that? I'll have to buy some new gloves. See if we can fix some of this stuff up here. Sometimes you just got to get, like I didn't really want to get going on this because I'm kind of like hesitant about whatever with this painting, and it's hard to get moving sometimes, but you just kind of have to do it. So that's what we're doing. Just moving. Sometimes you just got to move with it. This section is where I had my information that I was painting from. So I'm trying to get rid of that unpainted section. I'm not trying to be too hard edge here, but a little bit at the same time. So I'm not really sure how that is, in the long run, how that looks. But I don't want to go all hard edgy because that is, I just find that is not me in a sense. What is you? What are you? What makes you tick is what you should be doing. So if you're Mr. Hard Edge, Mrs. and Mr. Hard Edge, then get all hard edgy. Yeah, cadmium yellow lemon and permanent rose. See, I wouldn't bother with neither of those. Well, I like cadmium yellow lemon more so than, I would just get one yellow and I would get the cadmium yellow lemon. But better yet, just get Hansen yellow. Get Hansen yellow or Hansa yellow. That's my recommendation. Naphthol red and Hansen yellow. That will do the job. But yeah, skip the permanent rose. That's my thought. But you know, I'm not. It's just what I use. Yeah, Hansa yellow is pretty cheap, and it kind of does the job. I mean, you might have to use a little more of it, and it doesn't really sing, if you will, as the cadmiums do. But like I said, I think it really does the job well enough to just keep buying it. As long as the company that you're buying it from is a good company, such as the Utrecht paints, you're going to be okay with that. If you look at the properties of a Hansen yellow, sometimes, I've noticed this, sometimes you can get a paint that says cadmium red hue or lemon yellow hue, where the hue is where it's not like actually the pigment, it's like some other kind of stuff. If you look at the properties, the actual paint sometimes it is actually the same paint as the Hansen yellow, or the reds, the Naphthol reds. I saw that. I you know, to what extent is that all the time? I don't know, but. Now, something tells me that this is not looking right in terms of what I'm doing, but I'm not going to let it bug me, because maybe it might be fine in the long run. It might be fine. So I'm just going to keep going. Sometimes it's a energy flow is what is missing a lot of times when it comes to painting. And you don't. It takes a minute or so to really get your paint on, if you will. Get the mojo rising. Get up to speed. Feel. Get in the flow. Flow rider. And a lot of times it's hard to get that going right off the bat, out of the gate. All right, so let's see here. Taking your calls. 818-528-4516. Well, we got a little painting going here. Talked about colors. The other day I took a picture on Instagram, and I listed my palette. I showed my palette on Instagram, and I listed the colors, and those are what I use basically. Though, yeah. I think I did that, didn't I? I listed the colors. This is going back and forth in terms of making no sense and looking like shit, and at the same time, maybe it's not so bad. Hey, we got a call. How about that? Let's take a call here. Hello, caller. You're on Let's Paint TV.
Hey, big guy.
How you going? How's it going?
I dyed my hair blue.
What?
I dyed my hair blue.
Well, fantastic.
It's a great color. I love it. I think you should do the same thing.
I'm not into like doing manscaping and cosmetology. I don't care about that so much.
Oh man, dye your hair blue.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen.
Oh, pooey.
All right. Well, thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, I just, though it would be kind of fun to do. I'm not saying it wouldn't, but I'm just not going to do it. And honestly, I'm not really inclined to want to be walking around with blue hair. Though it would look kind of cool with my bald head in conjunction with it all. Yeah, part of me thinks I'm just fucking up this painting, but that's all right. I'm not going to fuck it up too much. And maybe I can bring it back to life if it does get fucked up. I want to get some people, work the people. Let's work some people in here. Sometimes the painting part, the process of painting is tedious. It's hard to get into it sometimes, I gotta say. But also it's rewarding on that degree in terms of time. It can really, you really can have time go by, for better words or lack of sentence structure or whatever. I mean, things go by pretty quick. They can. I generally not wanting to sit down and paint, but this painting's so damn big. It kind of needs me to sit down here. Kind of looks shitty. It's all right though. It's all right. It's okay if it looks a little shitty. We can hopefully bring it back to life if that was the case, or not. See, this is the Hanson yellow. I gotta say, I don't like it as much as the. I think if I had a preference, I would be just buying the cadmium yellow light, and maybe I'll probably go back to it in a way, because but it does the job. And what I'm trying to say is, it's pretty inexpensive comparatively speaking. So I got it, maybe if we were selling these paintings all the time and making a ton of money, then, I would just have tons and tons of cadmium yellows and whatnot everywhere. Well, we're getting close to the end of the program here, guys. We'll stay on a little longer as I got kind of going here. We can do that. As I start to hunker down. Fine tune or overwork or both. What's kind of interesting about this paint, I keep going back to, is it seems to be for me a little bit of uncharted territory, which is that's a good thing in a sense when it comes to making art and painting, which again, I come from a painting background of, I didn't learn how to paint from anyone. No one told me how to paint, kind of thing. I didn't get indoctrinated in how to paint. Yes, I went to art school, but no one force-fed me a particular way. I did not follow the allegiance to any particular way of doing things. So it's always a learning. I'm always learning and never certain of what I'm doing. That's both good and also problematic, because it kind of can throw you off. Those people in there. Hunkering down, hunkering down. Doing some little back and forth. Ah, yeah. They only sell phthalo blue-green shade. That's a good question. Yeah, that's a weird one. I would double check. I got stumbled on that before. I don't know the answer to that, frankly, at the moment. You might want to possibly look at the paint swatches that they might have. Sometimes they give you paint swatches, and you can maybe decipher that it's actually really blue. Okay. Let's see here. It's coming along. Teeny detail, no detail, too much detail. Problems. Ah, that's not what I wanted. All right. Come back in, cut that. Okay, that's fine. Well, getting a little bogged down, but we got a little more stuff on here. Shoot. My time is kind of running, sort of running out of time with you all today. I feel like it's getting closer and closer, and that could be good or bad. We'll just kind of knick-knack with it. Again, I'm hesitant to feel comfortable about that idea. But we're getting there, slowly but surely. We're getting somewhere with this. It's kind of there in a sense already. So that's a good sign. Let me just do a little more work here with some people here on the foreground. And then we'll call it a day. This painting reminds you of a Wesley Willis drawing of like downtown cityscapes of Chicago. You know, I could have sworn back in 1990, I believe was the year, I was walking down in front of the Chicago Art Institute, and I came across a guy, a black guy, sitting down and drawing, and he was drawing a very detailed drawing of the skyscrapers. And that had to be Wesley Willis. It had to have been him. There was probably nobody else that was doing that. It was 1990. And there you go. Okay, so our paths crossed. Our paths crossed, Wesley Willis and I. There is a naive quality to the piece for sure, and a lot of my work. It had to be, right, Jeremy? It had to have been him. You know, occasionally his drawings or paintings show up on eBay. I've seen them on eBay every once in a while. Probably could look it up right now. Let me take a look right now. Oh, it's fine. Look, I'm comfortable with the idea that my work is naive. I'm totally, I like that to some degree. Okay, how am I gonna? Okay, let's see. Wesley Willis. Yeah, there's always, look, there's stuff up here. You can buy, he's got stuff for $329. He's got $550, $500, $875. Boy, his drawings were really good, aren't they? I'm just looking at him right now. He's not alive anymore, is he? You know, people try to are kind of doing that with David Hart. They're kind of making David Hart, who I also know, who I really know. I know David Hart. I did not know Wesley Willis. Like I said, I walked by him once. If I had money to spend on art, I would buy a Wesley Willis. Of course, I'm Yeah, no, he was he played a lot of music. He did a lot of music. Very talented guy. Very talented. Well, guys, I'm gonna close up shop. I didn't really get much done here today. I kind of I kind of clumped away. I kind of clumped away. It's at a point where it could be done in a matter of moments, or it is done. How about that? I don't think it's there yet in terms of that, but it's getting close. So fantastic. We'll just kind of plug away on it. I will see you guys tomorrow, and also just letting you know that if you want to, you're jonesing for some outer space stuff and you're missing me in outer space, check out that link I put on Facebook and Twitter of the Journey to the Edge of the Universe. It's a documentary of sorts, animated documentary from a single camera point of view, going to the very edge of the universe, and it came out in 2008, and it aired on National Geographic, and I just saw it. They reran it yesterday, but you can watch it on the internet too, so it's really good. Okay, that's my tip for the day. Also, buy Utrecht paint, I guess, for your best deals, or you can go to Artist Oils Paint, which is through the Triangle Coatings Company out of Livermore, California. Okay, those are all my tips for the day, and other than that, hang in there. Sometimes you just gotta hunker down and start going, which eventually we did, but then once you get going, then it's time to go. So, damned if you do, damned if you don't. We'll see you again tomorrow on Let's Paint TV, and that's it. Okay. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.